Loving somebody don't mean trying to change them. There's a fine line between influence and control, between support and growth and managing transformation. You can't build a partnership if you're trying to manage a project.
So, quick question: is your spouse your partner or your project?
What's up, visionary?
What's good?
Welcome to another episode of Visions of Love and Relationships. I'm Tonya and I'm joined by my wonderful husband.
Lamont.
And we hope you're doing well as usual. Well,
As usual.
Is your spouse your partner or your project?
Yep. That's what we want to talk about today.
Yeah, but before we kick it in, we want to thank you to all the new subscribers to the channel and also to the old subscribers.
Yep. Got a lot of new ones.
Yes, we did.
I want to thank you so much.
We surely do. And we hope that we can bring some value, some help, some transformation, and everything in between in your marriage, in your relationship. Because for those of you who don't know Lamont and I, that is our mission. We work hard to help create stronger marriages that last, starting with dating. Because, the godly way. All right. So, again, is your spouse your partner or your project? When you're trying to fix who God called you to love,
it can be difficult. It could be overstepping our role in marriage.
Mm-hmm. So let's start with a scripture out of the good book, out of the manuscript, okay? 1 Philippians 1:6, NIV. Being confident of this, that he who began a good work in you will carry it on to completion until the day of Christ Jesus.
Yeah. And this verse reminds us that God is the one who initiates and completes the growth process in people, including your spouse.
Yep. Your role is not to force the finish line. It's to trust the process. God is already working on them. Okay? So you're not responsible for completing the work in your spouse. That's God's job. Leave that up to God. Your role is to support, pray, and be a partner. Not control, not to fix, and not to manipulate your partner. Another verse is in 1 Corinthians 3:6-7, NIV.
I plant the seed. Apollo waters it. God has to make it grow.
So neither the one who plants nor the one who waters is anything, but only God who makes things grow. So again, you can plant that seed, you can water that seed, but God is the one who's going to ultimately make it grow. That you can do all the watering and seeding you want and nothing and experience no growth.
Yeah, because spiritual growth and growing in people spiritually is a divine process. It's not a personal project that we take on. We plant the seed in love. We water the seed with encouragement. But the growth is out of our hands. Yeah. All we can do is plant love in a relationship, in our partner's heart, in our home, in our environment. Plant encouragement in our home, in our environment, in our partner, and everything else is in God's hand.
Yep, again, you can plant truth and water with love, but if you're trying to be the growth manager, you stepping into God's territory, and you shouldn't be. Trust Him with the outcome.
Yeah.
Okay, so love or an assignment. Okay, so you marry somebody hoping they grow into who you wanted them to be, not for who they actually are.
So are you mentoring or are you marrying? Did you say I do to who you thought to the person they are? Or did you say I do to the person you imagine they may become one day?
Mm.
And when people don't meet expectations, then resentment starts to build up in a relationship.
Yeah, and you definitely start seeing flaws, but they might be flaws in your eyes.
Yeah.
You know, they're not real flaws. It's just that you imagine
somebody
a project that you were gonna be working on. Oh, I can change them. I can make them to this person, that person. So when they never became that, you see them as flawed.
Yeah.
And most marriages don't make it through that flawed stage, and you know that's happening a lot.
That was a good point. Yeah, they do see them as flaws when they become projects that people thought they can change it.
Mm-hmm.
And when they can't change it, then you probably see them as flaws.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So here goes some signs that you're in project mode, and if you're on the other side of this, then these signs are also you're feeling these things coming from your partner. Mm-hmm. Micromanaging, resentment, constant comparison, and unmet potential expectations.
Yeah. And micromanaging all what your partner do, trying to get them to do certain things that you know they should be doing, or you think they should be doing, and that ends up causing resentment in you.
Yeah, because just think about it. I know, just even being on this trip, we went out with my sister. I was calling her the police every time I went to get something to eat. What you eating? How much you got? You know, like I'm like, you micromanaging me. So just getting that feel from anybody is like, I'm ready to go, or I'm ready to, leave this situation. So from your spouse,
they can't never do nothing with let me make you messing up on the sounds. Let me make the sounds. Like they can't never do things. You always come in and micromanage. A lot of times you may even take over the project because they're not doing it the way you want them to do it. You expect it to be done
instead of sitting there
letting them do it.
Let them do it, or like having a civil conversation with them about it. It's important again to remember that everybody's different. People were raised different, so we're gonna have different views on certain things, but we can work it out as a couple, as a married, as a partnership.
But you don't want to be micromanaging somebody because resentment's gonna get in play. You don't want to be constantly comparing your partner to somebody you think they could, the potential that they can live up to. Because they're not going to be, there's always going to be unmet expectations and potential that won't be met. That's going to hinder the love in your relationship because you not in there for love. You in there as a project.
Yeah, and then that
trying
constant
to change people.
Yeah, and that constant comparison is always gonna flop because that's not who they are. The person you're comparing them to, them and your partner have totally different thumbprints. God made each of our fingerprints different. We all gonna leave a different mark here on this earth. So it's important for your spouse to have their own identity. So do not constantly compare them to anybody. Okay.
And here's how you know you're also in project management mode. You're trying to build a project. If you feel tired because you feel like you're carrying the weight of your spouse's emotional, spiritual, and financial growth alone, you got to be everything to them. You got to be their emotional support. You got to take them to church. You got to be the one to initiate the spiritual growth in the relationship, and all this becomes a burden on you. And why? Because this is not meant for one person to bear. Each of us should bear our own burden. The other person is there to help the person hold their own load. We each got to hold our own load. We each got to grow ourselves with the help of God.
Yeah, and one thing you can do too is just simply define partnership. What is partnership? Partnership is not a one-way. A partnership takes two people. Okay? So please remember that you can't change somebody who don't want to grow. Okay? Transformation must be chosen. It's not an assignment. So you can't assign a person to change.
No, you can. Growth is personal. It's not forced.
Mm-hmm.
And anytime you try to force somebody to grow, it won't. They might grow because they were forced to do it, but it won't be sustained growth. Only time people sustain growth is when they do it themselves. My own intuition, my own strength, with the help of God, is the only thing that will make me change and stay changed.
Yeah.
And stay growing.
Mm-hmm. God is the changer. You're the encourager, not the engineer. So, with that said, you can encourage your spouse. Yeah. You can encourage your partner in many different ways. Go back through our videos. We talk about a spouse, one spouse not wanting to do anything. The other person can come in, cut a video on some, start learning, start doing some things in front of their partner. Yeah. And that'll ultimately make them want to do something different too. They will want that growth then.
If you meant to be in a relationship with this person. Yeah. Now, if you start growing and you start leading by example as far as spiritual growth, financially growing, and personally growing and stuff, you start growing and your partner does not. I mean, we're competitive people, especially men. We're competitive people. Even some women, you're competitive people by nature. So it will be hard for you to be in a relationship with somebody you love and to see them reaching, trying to do something, and you not want to follow suit. Say, I'm gonna grow too. I can't have them person, she doing all this or they doing all this, and me just sitting still. They're gonna outgrow me. So naturally, if I love this person, naturally I'm gonna step up and grow with them. But if you don't love the spouse, you say, well, that's them. I ain't trying to do that. And you're gonna sit back and you're gonna be your little self. But you gotta realize we can't force that person to change. Because if you love them, they was like that, then 9 times 10, then that's what you married. Yeah. Only God can create the change in people. Only thing that makes a person change is conviction in their heart. A renewed mind. Renewed mind and conviction in their heart brings forth change. Mm-hmm. So our job as our partner and us is to love the person. Okay. And make sure we provide a cultivated, peaceful, safe environment so growth can happen in all areas of our life. Mm-hmm. The environment sets the tone for growth. Mm-hmm. What we listen to and what we do in 24 hours, period, did God bless us with these 24 hours, sets the tone for how we grow together. Yeah.
Note, your partner or your spouse is not your Holy Spirit. And you're not your spouse's Holy Spirit. Okay? So again, only God can change.
Yeah. Because if you're exhausted from praying, nagging, pushing, but see no change,
and now you're bitter, that's a sign that you're working on a project and not a partner.
And you're not in your role.
You're definitely not in your role. So Galatians 6:9, don't grow weary in doing good, but also know your role.
Know your role. Our job is to love. Our job is to encourage. Our job is to lead by example.
Our job is to support. There's a thing called the savior complex in marriage. Yeah. Helping becomes enabling when there are no boundaries. If you have no boundaries, you have no say in what your partner do or to you
or to help you extend
or anybody in that case. Yeah. You have to have boundaries. It's just like if you have no boundaries, your partner's crossing invisible lines. You haven't set nothing. Yeah. So set some things, create some boundaries. And this kind of thing need to be done in the beginning. Yeah. With dating.
But I know a lot of times some boundaries you don't know, like until
it comes with time. And then you do have to come together, especially when you've been together for years. You do have to come because you grow. Yeah. And different seasons require different things. Yeah. So and come together and have that safe space to where you two can talk and communicate and create some new boundaries. Like, okay, we're here now, so this is what I need from you. This is what I expect, from and one person shouldn't be the person like projecting all the boundaries. It should be two people. Yeah. Because again, you are a partner, not a project. Yeah.
And partnership requires two people putting in mutual effort. Mm-hmm. You don't never want to be, and me personally, I would feel bad if I got somebody doing all the work and building me, and micromanaging me all. It feels resenting the person getting micromanaged too.
Yeah.
Because we can't. You like, damn, treat me like a baby. I can't live up to my potential, so we don't want to do that because it hurts both sides, and neither partner is able to love each other. When we got one micromanaging, treating the person like a project, we got the other person feeling belittled, never living up to the expectations of their partner because they always want to change them, want to make them better and doing something else. And our job is to love. Our job is to cultivate a ground for growth that happens.
Yeah.
And we cultivate the environment. The environment, how we use our 24 hours is that we're going to cultivate that environment where growth can happen or complacency can happen or stagnation can happen. It depends on how we use our 24.
Yeah, I feel like if a person can't meet their own expectations, how in the world can a person meet yours?
Yeah.
So never put too much, the expectation of your own expectations
on somebody else.
Let alone your partner. Because they're gonna get lost in your theology.
Yeah.
Of how they supposed to be.
And more than likely you're
gonna get who they down. Are. Yeah, and you're gonna get let down.
Yeah.
And so are they. All right. So God didn't call you to fix your spouse. He called you to love them as He work on them.
Yeah. So are you trusting God with your marriage, or are you trying to be God in your marriage? See, there's a big difference. Are you trusting God to fix your marriage, or are you trying to be God? You trying to be Miss Save, or you trying to be Mr. Super Duper?
Yeah. In your marriage.
You can't do both, because once you take the energy from loving somebody and you put it over there to fixing somebody, then energy goes.
Yeah.
Emotion flows when energy goes. Now my energy is all on here trying to fix this person. And it's hard for me to love them. I want to love my spouse. I want to continue to love my spouse. I let God fix it. Like I said, I provide the ground. I'm going to lead by example. But God creates the change.
Yep. And trust me, if you're trying to be God, I should say, in your marriage, you become your partner's accountability partner, their therapist, their parent, their spiritual coach. Everything but their partner.
Everything but their partner.
So take note of this. Take note if you're somebody who finds yourself being everything to your partner.
Therapist, parent, you parenting their child, and your spiritual coach. But building partnership is not about control.
Mm-hmm. So you want to go from control to collaboration because there's a clear difference.
Yeah. We helping each other be the best version we can be.
I'm not controlling you. I'm not telling you what to do. We come together and we collaborate on how we can do things to come to a certain outcome.
Yeah. Now, it's a difference between holding somebody accountable what they say, the change they say they want to make.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't want to say what I want you to change. I want you to say, I want you to. But now once you put it out there, now it's different between being an accountability partner. That's encouragement. See, sometimes you got to encourage it with accountability. Accountability is encouragement. I'm not doing the work for you, but I'm here to hold you accountable for the work you said you're going to do.
Yeah.
But you got to change. I'm here to support you. And my support is going to be just make sure that I hold you accountable if you want me to.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to say there.
Sometimes
I need for you to be aware.
Yeah.
On your partner. Know your partner, because if your partner is somebody that you don't want to be your accountability partner, because maybe he or she might throw it up too much and say it in a nagging way.
That's be control.
Yes, that turns into control. But again, if you are already married, hopefully you know your partner. You might have to designate somebody else, your sister, your cousin. You might have to designate somebody else to be your accountability partner.
Yeah.
Okay, for certain things.
Yeah. So y'all can collaborate on growth.
Mm-hmm. So from criticism, you want to go from criticism to curiosity.
Mm-hmm. Asking questions that help your partner become the best version of themselves. But sometimes questions get them thinking. They're like, well, you know what? I do want to grow. Because sometimes people be stuck in their own thinking, sometimes be stuck with their own, the way they grew up.
Mm-hmm.
So they don't know, but curiosity, instead of you trying to criticize somebody, will open up them to thinking and kind of solving their own problem. It's kind of like in counseling sessions and everything else. You don't want to solve somebody's problem. You don't want to give them the answer. I just want to spark curiosity in you to make you think.
To ask questions to your partner is also like showing that you care.
Yeah.
You know,
criticism shows that you don't care.
Yeah, because you're criticizing.
But curiosity shows that you care.
Yeah. And so you also want to go from forcing change to modeling growth, as we said again.
You gotta be the change.
Model that thing.
Be the change. You want somebody to change. If you want your relationship to get better, you want change to happen. You must be the first change that's gonna happen. Yeah, you must model growth. Yeah. And like I say, if your partner, your spouse loves you, they want to be with you, then naturally, if you start growing, they're going to be right behind your coattail growing. If they don't care about growing and they don't really love you, they say, well, you're going to accept me. I don't want to change and nobody's going to change me, not even God. Then they can become stubborn people and they're going to watch you grow. Even you can model it all day, they're going to watch you grow. But what that means is y'all probably are equally yoked. Yeah, sometimes you got to cut off the dead end. You gotta prune that thing so you can continually grow. Yeah, because you say I'm not forcing them to change, but I'm showing up. I'm spiritually handling my business. I'm financially handling my business. I'm emotionally handling my business. And I'm trying to model my best foot forward. But my partner just is there. Yeah. You gotta trust God. And then trust God with this partner. And then you gotta realize this. Are y'all equally yoked? Yeah. And that too, that's again why it's important to not jump into a marriage in a week. You know, you gotta know these people. Yeah. You know, I know it's different circumstances. I ain't trying to tell nobody when to get married or whatever, but I kind of am. Because if you don't know these people, then more than likely you're gonna have met expectations because you like, oh, okay, based off of what I seen this week, I'm ready to get married. This is the one. Yeah, you think that, but you don't know how they is living with them. Yeah. You don't know. You know, you don't know them enough. Yeah, I just had to say that. So some steps that you can take is to ask, do I love them for who they are, or who I think they could be? That's a good question. And if you loving somebody who you think they could be, they may never get there. Yeah, and that's sort of what I'm saying too. Yeah. Right, tie that right back into what I just said. Because they may never loving somebody for who you think they could be. Yeah, and they may never get there. Some people never give up growth to the expectations that we think or we put forth, that we think we see the potential in them. Mm-hmm. So the question then be, can I love them for who they are? Mm-hmm. That's when you get that spot when I say I can love them for they don't change, if they don't grow no more, they don't make no more money, they don't parent their child anymore. Can I love this person for who they are? Yeah. You can also rebuild emotional safety. Nobody can thrive in judgment. Yeah. When you're being judged, when you always feel like you're judged, it's hard to be your best self because I almost feel like you're walking on eggshells. Mm-hmm. Is this enough? Did I do this right? Because everything you're doing is like judged. Nobody can thrive in that kind of environment. Mm-hmm. People thrive in an open, encouraging environment. Yeah. A loving, encouraging environment. And if we want the best version of our partner, that's the kind of environment that we must stay putting forth. Mm-hmm. And I know sometimes it becomes hostile, mm-hmm. conflict get in the way, but we got to quickly get back to that loving state where we're in encouragement and we putting forth an environment so both parties can grow and don't feel judged if they're not growing at the pace we think they can grow at. Mm-hmm. It's important also to pray with your partner, not just for them. Okay, pray with them. You can find out all sorts of things
while you and your spouse is praying.
Yeah.
They might be praying for the change that you seek, you know, but without praying with them, you would never know that that is something that they want to work on. They want God to change that in them because they can't do it alone. Yet they pray about it, but you don't hear them because y'all don't pray together. But you, on the other hand, nagging about it or saying something about it that's making them spiral.
Or you might even be in your own little prayer closet praying something about them. They would like, it would be nice if they was in it, on it, so they can actually see that you praying about it. That's actually you talking to the Lord for them. So that encourages people to know, not that my spouse is paying me on the silent mode. I don't know what she's talking about, but now we both a couple that prays together, stays together. I'm both seeing my spouse pray for me, pray the change that she want to see me make. That's going to be convicting for somebody. I pray that my husband will keep getting better. I pray that my husband will keep growing close to you. The man can't help but to hear that, especially men, to eventually move up to the person that you want them to be.
Yeah. And when you're praying and talking to God, you're in your most vulnerable state.
Yeah.
So that's another thing. So, being with your partner, pray. We're not saying don't pray for them while you pray alone, because you also need your time alone with God, you and God.
Yeah.
But come together with your spouse as well and pray with them.
Yeah. If you are spiritually mismatched, but trying to build unity in faith, values, and direction, it's not going to work. Nope. Because y'all got to be spiritually matched together. You got to be equally yoked together. Because equally yoked people your values and your faith will kind of align. And that will give you the direction and forth which you will grow, build the foundation of your relationship on. Without vision, the people perish. Without a spiritual matching of yokeness, people perish. Because naturally, you're going to be building to two different visions. You're in line for your marriage, if you're a spiritual person, should be godly, should be love. Mm-hmm. See, somebody who doesn't believe in God, somebody believe in Jesus Christ, then their value is going to be, and their faith is going to be totally different from yours.
Yeah, because you had a spiritual. Some people, I don't believe in God, I'm just spiritual.
Yeah, mismatch.
Like, what does that mean? Okay.
And you try to build unity in faith, values, and direction, but you're spiritually not in line.
An important thing to understand about trying to build is that it has to be on a strong. How is it gonna last? Yeah. It gotta be on a strong foundation. So that foundation gotta be built on God. And I feel like that's what's wrong with a lot of marriages as well. The foundation isn't there. Yeah. There has to be a strong foundation to build anything that's gonna last. Yeah. So focus on that strong foundation.
Faith, values, and direction.
Yes.
And marriage is about walking together, not pulling someone behind you. And if the partner you're with is not ready to walk, you have to stop dragging them and trust God with them. Trust God to take the wheel of your partner, trying to fix your partner.
Yep. And just remember that your role is not to repair your spouse, it's to reflect Christ to them. Okay? That's the difference between control and covenant. Mm-hmm. If you're a man, you're loving your spouse like Christ loved the church.
Yeah.
Okay?
Providing that ground for growth to happen. Love and encouragement, leading by example. Yeah. And keeping that toxic out of your life, man.
Yeah.
That's going to keep the ground for growth.
Yeah. It's very important to keep the toxicity.
The more you can put God in your marriage, you got Bible study, you got morning, you got afternoon. The more you can live life inside your marriage, then God's going to help work that out. He's going to renew your mind. He's going to renew your strength, and you'll be able to soar with wings. When God's in your marriage is going to soar. It's going to thrive and not just be surviving.
Yeah, and that's what we want.
Yeah.
And this has been another episode of Visions of Love in Relationships. If you got some value, make sure you share this with somebody else who can also get value. We encourage you to comment. We love comments, whether you agree with us or disagree. You're welcome to comment, but remember, our opinions are our opinions, and yours is yours. We can agree to disagree.
Yeah, but let us know your thoughts in the comment section. If we could have went deeper on something, if there's something that we didn't touch on or whatever.
If it's something you want us to touch on.
If it's something you want us to touch on, let us know your thoughts in the comments, because we get feedback from you guys, and we're doing this for you because ultimately we can get off this internet and our relationship will be good. But God put it on our hearts to come out here and help people create a life and a love life that they love.
So much so that we made a course on it that you can also check out at lovercoaching.com. It'll be somewhere in the description.
Yep.
Check it out.
Loverscoaching.com/love.
Yeah. And they had vision.
And together
they built the life that they love. Go build.
In the city lights, we shine so bright. Tonya and Lamont, we're in the limelight, sharing stories on our podcast every night. Spreading love and soul, our words take flight. Talking about love, we keep it real and raw. Through the ups and downs, we stand tall. Our voices blend like a sweet harmony, touching hearts, creating unity. Dive deep into emotions, no filter inside. Tonya's honesty, Lamont's soulful insight. Exploring love's highs and lows. It's our mission, connecting souls to heartfelt conversation.